Senator Woods.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to bring the other side of the testimony that we heard in the hearing. We had, yes, a lot of people sign up to oppose the bill. Yes, we had a lot of people come and testify about vaccinations, but that's because the opponents to this bill spun it out as an anti-vaccination bill, and that's not what this bill is about. This bill is about parents' rights. One of the parents came and reported that when her child was in school, she was told that the parents were the enemy. Not all teachers would ever say that, and I don't mean to say that about teachers, but when a parent hears that, you can understand their concern about parental rights. Parents have been told that when your kid crosses the threshold of the school, they are mine. I don't agree with that as a parent either. We heard stories from these parents of kids being rounded up in schools, in health clinics in schools, and vaccinated against the parents' wishes. And then we heard about a survey that was sent to the school for kids in middle school and high school to take. The survey is about health behavior. It says what you tell us about your activities will help us to know what you're doing and how it's going to affect your health. They do say they will keep this information private, but they ask for the student's age, their sex, the grade they're in, whether they're Hispanic or Latino, their race, how tall they are, how much they weigh, what language they use at home. It wouldn't be hard to narrow down to at least a small subset of the students in that class who would fit those categories. And on part of the survey, they ask, in the last 30 days, how many times have you eaten vegetables? How many times have you eaten fruit? That all sounds well and good. And then they ask these self-incriminating questions. How many days did you carry a weapon, a gun or a knife on school property? How many times have you used marijuana? How many times in the last 30 days have you used marijuana? How often do you use marijuana? And then how often do you use it on school property? How many times have you used any form of drugs on school property? Have you ever had sex? How many people have you had sex with in the last 30 days? This survey underscores the reason for Senate Bill 77, because the schools are asking information from parents about their kids that are the parents' business, and these issues need to be handled between parents and kids in their homes. We were told at the hearing of a quote from Thomas Jefferson. He says, if people want to let the government prescribe what they eat, they will be as sick as the souls of people under tyranny. To the parents who came and testified at this hearing for their parental rights, it felt like tyranny to them. We had an immigrant from communist China come and address our hearing, and she talked a lot about how she didn't have the rights as a child in China, and that's why she moved here, to be able to raise her kids in a country where she had the freedoms to raise her kids. And she said it felt a lot like we were slipping back into what she left in China. The final statement of the hearing that impacted me to vote yes in favor of this bill, and why I would encourage you to vote in favor of this bill, a lady said, these rights that parents have, they might be fundamental rights, but they need to be established. And Senate Bill 77 establishes the parental rights. So I urge a yes vote on Senate Bill 77.